this video I'm going to go over everything you need to know for creating your first short film in 7 pretty straightforward steps. And be sure to stick around till the end, because I think the last step is actually the most important step, and it's something that I actually don't really see people talking about, so make sure to stick around for that. For a bit of context, I've been making films for 10 years, and in those 10 years I've made almost 100 short films, including an award-winning film. And for every single one of those films I've directed, shot and edited myself, and written. Almost all of them I've written. So I think I've got a good idea of how to start and how to put a film together. So without further ado, let's go to the first step. Now the first step is something that I go over quite a lot on this channel, and that is to allow your restrictions to craft your film for you. This starts with the narrative. What narrative are you physically able to tell with what you have available to you? And I'm talking about, you know, how many actors do you have, what locations do you have, what camera do you have, whether that's an actual camera or a phone. All of these things will contribute to the final product, and I think the best way to do this is to use your restrictions. For example, if you don't have a camera, if you just have a phone, you can make a film, you can sort of make a vlog style film, or you can edit it in a way to make it look like an old-fashioned film, because phone cameras are actually a lot better than cinema cameras from not that long ago. So, you know, you can just put a few filters on it, make it look like a stylistic choice, and then you go. Your film doesn't look like it was made on a phone. It looks like it was purposefully crafted to look antique. And as for actors, yeah, you know, if it's just with you, okay, how do you craft a narrative that just involves you? If it's with a friend, how do you craft a narrative that's just with a friend? And again, locations, what do you have available? If you just have a bedroom, how can you make a film that makes sense for it to just be in a bedroom? Let it craft your narrative. Now the second step is a very quick one, and that is to keep your script straightforward and quick. Don't try to make a feature film. Try to make a film, I would say, between 1 and 5 minutes, because the longer you make it, the more time you're going to spend on it. And you know what? If this is your first film, it's not going to be great, so you may as well just make a quick film, learn the lessons you need to learn from your mistakes, and move on to the next one, instead of spend ages making a 1 hour, 2 hour film, which is going to be bad. Just make a 5-minute film, a very simple film, just a dialogue scene. Something very, very simple. The third step, and I think this is actually very important, is do not work with too many people. Keep it tight, even if it's just you. And if it is just you, I have a few videos on the channel, I'll pin some up now, that go over how to make a film entirely alone. Or I think the best thing to do if it's your first time making a film is do it with just one other friend, someone who you feel comfortable with, because what this will allow you to do is it will allow you to be free and stress-free. Because if this is your first time making a film and you have a bunch of people involved, even if they're people you know well, it's going to be quite stressful. When you make a film, it can be a very vulnerable thing, because you're sort of putting yourself out there in front of all these people. So the less people there are, the less stress you're going to feel, and I think the more freedom you'll have, which will end up making your film, which will end up resulting in a better film. So yeah, keep cast/crew tight. The fourth step would be to experiment as much as possible, and I'm talking about in terms of looks. Do crazy shots, do weird shots. Don't just do your basic shots, do weird shots, because when you do something that's very extreme, it's a lot easier to then tone it down later. and you'll learn from being extreme. You can do something that's very extreme and maybe it'll be too extreme, but you'll see hints of something that's really good. So then for your next film, you can tone down the extreme elements from your previous film and use them in a much more subtle way but effective way. So I think, seeing as it's your first film, seeing as, you know, there aren't really going to be many stakes, it's not like you're shooting a film for Netflix, you can afford to go a bit wild with your, you know, with the visuals. I think make the most of that freedom and go crazy, because when you go crazy, you make mistakes, and that's how you will learn. The fifth very important step is the sound. With sound, I'm talking about music. Make sure to use music, because music can elevate your film from... Because if it sounds bad, it looks bad, and with good music, it will make it look good. And sound effects, you know, I think some very basic sound effects to use are impacts, swooshes. They're used in cinema. They're used in big films. So if you just download a few just very useful sound effects and implement those in your film, it will take your film to the next level, I believe. Layer your dialogue. So what I mean by this is, when you have a dialogue scene, fade the beginning and ends of each dialogue audio file in and out, and layer them over each other. So what this will do is it will prevent any hard sort of cuts between lines, which you hear a lot in amateur films. So if you avoid that, then you will be a step above already just in your first film. And to add to creating good dialogue, find a drone. A drone is just a background sound. So if you're filming outside, add a layer of just nature. If you're indoors, you can search empty room sound effect and just add that underneath your dialogue, and it will just add some consistency to the audio. And again, if it sounds good, it looks good. If it sounds bad, it looks bad. So really, really focus on the audio. 6 is color grading. This is another thing that is very important, and it's something that I didn't do for the first 8 years of making films. I made films for 8 years before color grading. That's not true, 7 years. I made films for 7 years before color grading them, and trust me, it makes a difference. You could be using, even if you're using a really good camera, I have a decent camera at the moment, it doesn't matter if you don't color grade. I've seen people with the same equipment as me, literally the same camera and same lens, yet their film looks like it was shot on an iPad because they don't color grade. I've also seen films shot on an iPad that look like they've been shot on a really expensive camera because they have been color graded. So focus on color grading. Really give color grading a go. Don't knock it off. I'm also releasing a LUT pack. If it's already released, it will be in the link in the description below. If not, I should be releasing it in a week or two, and it will just be a collection of LUTs that you can put into your shots to make them look cinematic. So if it's out already, go check it out, and if it's not out, keep an eye out for that. And finally, the 7th step, and I believe this is actually the most important step. Do not spend too much time on this film. This is your first film. It's going to be bad. Don't waste too much time on this. I've seen people spend years preparing for their first film. I'm not exaggerating, years. What a waste of time. You spend years working on a film that sucks. What a waste. No, spend a weekend. Do it in a weekend. Max a week. Max 2 weeks. Big max 2 weeks. because I really think the more films you make, the quicker you're going to learn. The more time you spend on one single project trying to perfect it, the slower you're going to learn, and you're going to be left behind. You're going to, you're gonna, it's not going to work out for you. So don't spend much time on it. I would suggest spending the bulk of your time actually in the edit, because that's when you can make something. That's when you can make a really bad looking film actually look quite decent. So yeah, spend most of your time in the edit, but even then, don't spend much time. In total, your film, try to challenge yourself to make your film in an afternoon, in a weekend, in a week, max 2 weeks. Set yourself up a challenge like that and get to it. And if you need any video editing help, I am a professional editor, so you can send me a message if you need any help. I've linked my website below, so contact me via my website. And also, as for making films in a short time period, I run a sort of digital film festival here on the YouTube channel, and it's basically an incentive for actors and filmmakers to create a film within 2 weeks. And I react to a bunch of them here on the channel, and the winning film will be uploaded on the channel. So if you're interested in that, check out this video to see more details.